right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the second day of the Virtual University Transfer Fair presented by Wake Tech Academic Advising. We're so excited to have you join us today for UNC Greensboro's presentation. Just a few announcements for this event. There will be a Q&A portion at the end of this event. You can go ahead and put your questions in the question box throughout the presentation. Our presenter will answer them at the very end. Also, please make sure to stay for the entire event. There will be a survey posted in the chat box at the end of the event, and we ask that you please complete that survey for a chance to win a $50 Visa gift card. All right, so our presenter today is Melissa Garrison from UNC Greensboro. Melissa, you can take it away.
Well, thank you very much. And I greatly appreciate you tuning in, Wake Tech students, to learn a little bit more about UNC Greensboro. Again, my name is Melissa Garrison. I'm Assistant Director of Transfer Recruitment, and I'm specifically your contact at Wake Tech. So it's my job and my pleasure to help you transfer to UNC Greensboro as smoothly as possible. So I always encourage you to reach out early and often, as I'm glad to answer questions from the moment you start at Wake Tech until you're ready to transfer. So don't ever hesitate. Once again, I'm here from UNC Greensboro, which is a fantastic institution, and I thank you for learning a little bit more about it with me today. What I'm going to do now is start with just a short video to give you a view of campus.
This is a remarkable place. A place steeped in history, where trails have been blazed, discoveries have been made, and lives have been changed forever. This is a place that holds questions and answers, problems and solutions. It's a place to tap into your creativity, curiosity, and ambition. This is a place to pursue what makes you, you. Here you'll be challenged and cheered, and you'll join a tradition of change makers. This is a place you'll miss when you leave. Look around and picture yourself here, at this unique time, in this remarkable place. You'll be amazed at what you find. Welcome to UNC Greensboro. Find your way here.
Find your way here. We say that a lot at UNC Greensboro, as we have students coming from large cities, small towns, frankly, all over the world to come to Greensboro to continue their education, because it's a really close-knit community with faculty who are involved, staff that are cheering you on, and lots of student support. So UNCG is about access and opportunity and a wonderful location. So I encourage you to please, if you can, take a closer look. Just a little bit about our history. We were founded in 1891 as North Carolina's College for Women. So from the beginning, we were a trailblazer and a little bit different. Years later, we joined UNC Chapel Hill in North Carolina State as one of the 3 original UNC system schools. You're very lucky to be in the state of North Carolina and have lots of wonderful choices, UNCG being one of the 3 original in the system. Fast forward today, we have about 20,000 students. We are co-educational and consistently rated among the top colleges in the United States. One of the best things about our size is that we are large enough to offer you the variety and options of a state university, but we're small enough that you can walk from one end of campus to the other in about 15 minutes. And as you notice from the video, it's still green in Greensboro, so it's a nice location as well. But some of you as transfer students may know exactly what you want to major in, and others of you may be exploring, and that's okay. Our university is broken up in 6 different colleges and schools, and I can't obviously touch on all of these majors. There's more information on every single one on our website, but let me just give you a little overview. Our Bryan School of Business and Economics is AACSB accredited in both accounting and business. Less than 1% of schools worldwide hold accreditations in both those areas. You may see familiar areas of study like business, but consumer apparel and retail studies is one of the top 5 fashion programs in the South. And for those of you who may not want to relocate from Raleigh, our business administration online degree just ranked in the top by US News and World Report in the state. Our College of Visual and Performing Arts is wonderful and strong as well. We have our own art museum on our campus, degrees in music, new art administration degree, which is a combination of the business side as well as the art, studio art, musical theater. Unfortunately, I was not gifted in any of these areas, but I have benefited from the cultural environment here at UNCG. If you can't find a theater production, an art exhibit, a dance production, you're not looking really hard. So it's a fantastic experience to be part of the arts at UNCG. We also have a large School of Health and Human Sciences. Kinesiology tends to be the largest major there, preparing students in physical therapy, which would take a graduate degree, athletic training. We also have degrees in nutrition, where you can become a registered dietitian, large areas social work, speech pathology, and audiology as well. Our School of Nursing is very well known, brand new, building opened up last fall, multi-million-dollar facility. You ought to take a look, but nursing is a pretty strong area as well, a very strong area at UNCG. Our College of Arts and Sciences houses a lot of programs at UNCG, the ones you think of off the top of your head, things like history, math, Spanish, the sciences, biology is very big. But you may not have thought about interior architecture. That's a unique program, which is a Bachelor of Fine Arts, a BFA, which gives our students more studio time to perfect their craft. And then, of course, a solid school of education. We have a dual degree that will license you in both elementary and special ed, as well as a new information science degree that can specialize now in information analytics. We also have professions in deafness, and not many people in the state have that as well. We can license you in Deaf Ed K through 12, or you can work on interpreter preparation. These pre-professional programs that you see on the bottom corner here, those are not majors. Those are areas of study that folks might want to pursue graduate work in. So when you apply to UNCG, if you're interested in one of these areas, you can list it, and we will provide specialized advising so that you will be prepared and aware of what kind of graduate requirements you might need to meet, or what kind of extra observation that would prepare you to go to medical school beyond UNCG. One of the things I've loved about being on UNCG's campus is its diversity and its location. Our students come from 78 different countries in 46 states. As I mentioned earlier, big cities, small towns, they all come together at UNCG. And as you know, from being in North Carolina right now, we're halfway between the mountains and the beach, not too far from you in Raleigh there on the map, and on the I-85 corridor between Washington, D.C. and Atlanta. So it's just a fantastic place to live and learn. And we love Greensboro. You got to remember that 45,000 college students are here within a mile because we're surrounded by our neighbors, North Carolina A&T State University, Guilford College, Greensboro College, and Bennett College. Folks, that's a lot of students all in one place. So there are many things going on downtown in Greensboro. And like I said earlier, as you can see from the shot, it's still green. We do have our traffic, but it's not quite as hustling and bustling. But one of the things that is very key as well is we're one of the top up and coming cities for jobs. We want to make sure you have those opportunities to be connected and to use that education that you're going to gain here in the workforce. As I talk with transfer students, I always tell them the one thing that I find most important is you need to get connected in something outside of the classroom, no matter where you transfer. Okay, at UNCG, you've got hundreds of options for that. We have a transfer honor society at UNCG. We have many service clubs and organizations. UNCG's motto is service. You can join Greek life, fraternity, and sororities. religious-based clubs, club sports and intramurals, and professional organizations that are related to your major. So there's always something going on at UNC Greensboro, and I encourage you, like I said, just get connected in at least one thing, because that's going to make all the difference in your college career. I want to show you, I know we were founded in 1891, but I want to make sure you know our buildings don't look like they're from 1891. We've got some new construction going on campus here. This is across the street. We have got some residence halls as well as apartment style living. As a transfer student transferring in with a certain number of hours, you would be eligible for the upper class housing of apartments. And we've added grocery stores that you can shop in, great places to eat. And I always want students to take advantage of this new Kaplan Recreation and Wellness Center. It has its indoor track, your cardio room, your pools, your free weights, your exercise classes, indoor basketball courts. It's just a wonderful facility, and we're committed to wellness as well, not just going there to exercise, but we've got nutrition classes, yoga, massage chairs, taking care of your whole self while you're a student. I have done this climbing wall one time, and it was a lot of fun. So please, I tell students, you pay tuition and fees. Your fees are going to these wonderful services and resources, so please use them. We are the Spartans, NCAA Division I. You can see the listing of sports that we offer at UNCG. Our teams play on our campus, so students with a student ID can just go and watch. The only exception is basketball is played in the Greensboro Coliseum, so that's a whole lot of fun. You still get in with your ID, and it's a very short trip down the street to the Greensboro Coliseum. So please, cheer on the Spartans if you have time. They're fun to watch. Baseball, soccer, any of the sports. Of course, Central is the classroom at UNC Greensboro. And one of the things that I think makes us distinct and unique is, like I said, we're large enough to offer you over 175 areas of study, but our median class size is 25 students. My guess is at Wake Tech, you're taking a lot of the general classes like English and biology and history, those larger first year classes. So by the time you transfer to UNCG, your classes may be even smaller. We pride ourselves in senior faculty instruction, fewer teaching assistants. And as an undergraduate, you're going to have the opportunity to do research as well. Our faculty have posted office hours. They are accessible. We do offer real-world projects in the classroom. That Bryan School of Business often goes to local companies like Volvo Group to ask for real-world projects that their business needs help with, and gets our students to work on those. So there's a lot of collaboration and, of course, cross-cultural dialogue. You do have the chance at UNC Greensboro to study abroad, which is a fantastic opportunity. I always tell students, don't wait until you cross that stage at Greensboro Coliseum and graduate to connect with our Career and Professional Development Office. We want to make sure you put your degree to work and something that benefits the community as well as your well-being. So please check in with Career Services the minute you step foot on our campus. They will help you with resume writing, interviewing skills. They'll get you on Handshake to network. They bring on-campus job fairs, and they help students with internships. So it's never too late to see them, but work on that early, career and professional development. Now, all college does come with a cost, so I do want to talk a little bit about that as well, but it's hard to beat the value of a UNCG degree. You can see how we stack up compared to the state average in North Carolina, as well as the public average. Our annual tuition and fees are $7,492. If you add a room to that, it's $5,766, and meal plan $39.14. Now, I will say we do not require students to live on campus, so you're not required, although we welcome you if you wish. We have a transfer student community called Connect that you might want to get involved in. But if you're just coming to class, you can pay tuition and fees, okay? Always, 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 no matter where you go to school next, file that FAFSA form, okay? That's a free application for federal student aid, and UNCG awarded $70 million in financial aid last year, okay? I've got something else that's exciting to say as well about aid. We now have transfer scholarships. We've identified over $200,000 in scholarship funding for transfers, and no, it does not matter what major you choose to pursue. You don't have to have a separate application. All you have to do is apply for admission to UNCG by March 31st, and make sure you have a FAFSA on file with us with our school code 002976. That's all you have to do, and we will notify recipients in mid-April. So funding is there. In order to join our community, what we generally look for from our transfer students is at least 24 college credit hours with C grades or higher. Aim for at least a 2.0 or higher GPA. If you choose to earn an associate in arts or an associate in science from Wake Tech, that's going to waive your general education requirements as a block. So that's definitely a benefit as well. In other words, it doesn't matter to us what kind of English course you took or literature course, you've got a North Carolina Community College degree. Now, if you're in our College of Arts and Sciences, there will still be some foreign language requirement, but general courses waived as a block. Okay, if you've taken courses at other four-year institutions, those courses will come in C grades or higher. We take a maximum of 64 hours from a 2-year school, C grades or higher, unlimited number from a 4-year school. I can help you determine how all of your credits will transfer and apply, so always reach out if you need me. Please remember that UNCG admits to the general university and not to any particular school, okay? So while I said aim for 24 hours at least in a 2.0, I will say a 2.0 is not going to get you into the School of Nursing, which is a separate application process, or the School of Education. So be aware that some majors have a secondary application process. Ask us about those, and we can help you. If you're ready to join us, you can apply online 3 ways. An online application through Spartan Link, which is our service. We also are on the Common App, and we use CFNC. We do have a $65 application fee, but we accept the NACAC transfer student fee waiver, option 2. So don't ever let the fee be a barrier. Reach out if that is causing a problem. I know I have official test scores on here, but see, they're not required for 2022 applicants or for transfer students that have 24 more hours or more. Just don't even worry about test scores. We're test optional. Please do send official college transcripts from anywhere you've ever been. Unfortunately, you can't upload it yourself. You need to go to Wake Tech's transcript website, and they'll direct you how to send it to us. Also, if you've had AP tests, CLEP tests, IB, please send us everything you have, because we want to make sure we give you the proper transfer credit. We do not require an essay for our transfers, but we will read anything that you choose to share. So if you want to write us a little bit about yourself, that's fine. I love to read a little bit more beyond the transcripts. Always, always, always keep your deadlines in mind, okay? You can skip down to the little box for transfer. It's very straightforward. Our priority deadline for fall is March 1st, so that's coming up. But we will accept applications through July the 15th, okay? For spring, we do accept spring transfers. December 1 is your deadline. And once again, please file that FAFSA form. Money goes out earlier rather than later, so please be on the earlier side. Again, this is me. I'm Melissa Garrison. I'm your Assistant Director of Transfer Recruitment for Wake Tech. And like I said, I enjoy working with students and working with them one-on-one. So you can always email me for an appointment. We can Zoom, we can call, you can text. I'm glad to help you at any point in this process. And like I said, I will help you plan your schedule for 2 years. If that's what you need me to do, I can do that for you. I always want to encourage every student, no matter what school you're looking at, go visit. We have plenty of opportunities to visit. We are doing on-campus tours in safe small numbers where you can sign up to visit and take a campus tour. If you've been admitted already, we have admitted Spartan Days. We have an open house in April. And specifically for transfers, February 15th, which is next week, y'all, and April 5th, 5:30, virtually, you can tune into our transfer information program. You can sign up for that through our Spartan Link account. We will talk to you about admissions, transfer credit, and financial aid. Students who tune in and watch the live program and complete a short survey get a $65 application fee waiver. So just keep that in mind. Opportunities to visit, ask more questions, and take a closer look. That's about all I have today, so I want to open the floor for questions, but once again, I appreciate your time and attention and listen a little bit about UNCG.
Thank you so much. That was great information, Melissa.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, we will switch into the Q&A portion of the event now. Go ahead, students, anyone attending, go ahead and drop those questions in the question and answer box. And I have went ahead and listed Melissa's contact information in the announcement portion of that box as well. So you all can save that. And then I'm going to just turn it over to Mike to get started with our questions.
Okay, so the first question is, what is the required GPA for the education major specifically?
3.0. And like I said, that's not admission to the university, and also that's not your Wake Tech GPA, okay? You've got to establish the 3.0 GPA at UNC Greensboro. So there's a couple prerequisite education courses you would take, and you would also need to have satisfactory scores on what we call the praxis test. But you'd be aiming for a 3.0 at UNC Greensboro.
Okay, and what is the competitive GPA for general admissions, and what is the minimum GPA requirement?
Okay, minimum requirement is 2.0. Now, when I say that, I want to explain a little bit, because I know students have had some stops and starts, especially during the pandemic, and some students are adult students going back to school who may have been out for quite a while. So if you're over 21 years of age and your recent work is good, please don't allow some prior work, maybe right out of high school, to prevent you from applying. We do have ways that we can do an informational adult interview or things of that nature, but generally our minimum GPA is a 2.0. A 3.09 is what the average of our transfer students earn. We have about 2,000 transfer students at UNCG every year, and they tend to graduate at higher rates and also have are just as successful as the students who have started out as first years. So we're really proud of that.
And I also have students inquiring about where to locate the website sign up to do a virtual Zoom call with you individually.
Sure. If you go to www.uncg.edu/ADM for admissions, you'll see a little button that says find your counselor, and there I am, and it will say schedule a video chat, and you can access my calendar and schedule a time that's convenient. Now, that being said, if there's not a time that's convenient for you, please email me. I know that information is out there, and I will find a time, okay, that works with your schedule, because I know not everybody's on the same time frame.
Thank you for that. And I know you went over that. If you could pull that deadline slide back up, because we have a student asking when's the best time to apply.
If you're interested in fall, I encourage you to apply now. Our priority deadline is March 1st. If you can't get it all together, we do accept applications on a rolling basis through July 15th. Okay, so if you decide in the summer you want to come, you can. You can still apply through July 15th. But one of the benefits of being a transfer student is in late April to early May, we have advising and registration by appointment for our new transfer students. So if you're already admitted in March, come April, mid to late April, you'll actually go ahead and get to meet your UNCG advisor and start registering for fall classes. So that's why I recommend doing it early. It also helps us early because if you have difficulty getting a transcript or find there are other transcripts you need, it gives us time to help work with you and help you get all those credentials in.
Okay. And do you recommend that students complete the associate degree at Wake Tech prior to transferring, or is it okay for them to have the minimum 24 to 30 credits in transferring?
Either way works. Like I said, the benefit of having the whole degree is it waives your general ed classes as a block. Some majors, it's advantageous to come on over. Those would be majors in the arts, music, art, interior architecture, things that have very specific major requirements. So sometimes it depends on the major, also depends on the student. But like I said, there is a value to finishing the associate's degree as well. Kind of a case, I know that was kind of a case by case basis.
And for students with multiple transcripts, if they had gone to a school prior during, like you said, those stop periods and had like a lower GPA, how do you go about making that admissions decision and averaging the GPA out? How does that work?
Good question. Typically what we do is we'll average all the grades together and see if it meets the minimum admissions requirement. If it doesn't, then we look at patterns in time. Okay. So say you went somewhere 5 years ago and just did terrible, frankly, but then you re-enrolled at Wake Tech recently and you were on track. We can see a clear upward trend in your grades. If you're 21 or older, you might get an email from me that says, hey, we'd like to discuss your educational plan with you. Do you have time to talk? And we can set up a Zoom or a phone call where you can tell me a little bit more about what happened that first time and how things have improved. And so that's kind of how we work that process. If we need more information, we'll reach out to you. I think we do call it an interview, but please don't be intimidated by that. It's more like a discussion of your educational plan. And I'll tell you, if for some reason I'll say either, I'd prefer you to stay at Wake Tech and take X, Y, and Z, or I'll say, okay, I think you're ready to come to UNC Greensboro. We will use more than just looking at the paper alone when we've had a student with a longer track record. But please don't, your recent grades need to be solid, okay?
Okay, thanks for that. And any advice you'd like to share with future applicants to help their application stand out? And what are some important things that they should highlight in their application process?
Good question. As far as the application is concerned, like I said, it helps to apply early. So that way, if you're missing anything or if we need to track something down, we can help you. We do have places on the application where you can share more. Like if you stopped out of school, if you want to tell me what you were doing, please do. I also know the pandemic has greatly affected students and grades. Feel free to share that as well if you want to elaborate on any ups and downs in your record. That does help us in the review process. So those are things that you could share with us. And like I said, applying early allows us to help collect the information we need. As far as beyond the application process, my advice would also be, don't hesitate to ask questions. This is what we're here for. We're counselors, we're not gatekeepers. We want you to transfer in the best position possible. So it doesn't matter to me if you reach out to me when you've only been at Wake Tech for 2 weeks. That's okay. I will work with you the whole time and get you as prepared as I can to transfer over smoothly. So it's never too early to ask questions, but also never too late as well.
Okay, and could you describe student activities or student life for transfer students? And do transfer students usually live on campus? And also, are there any clubs and organizations for transfer students?
Of course.
Sorry, that was a 3-part question.
Okay, well, remind me if I don't hit one of the parts. We have a Transfer Honor Society. We also have a Transfer Student Union. So there are opportunities specifically for transfer students. But a lot of times they mold into our student life very, very smoothly by joining clubs and organizations either related to their major or possibly things like if they like sports, doing club sports, things like that. I will be honest, a lot of our transfer students do not live on campus. We are in downtown Greensboro with very accessible transportation. So many of them do live in apartments, but they do have the choice to live on campus. We do have apartment and suite style living at UNCG, as well as a transfer living community called Connect. And what Connect is for only for transfer students, and it's common programs and supports so that transfer students can get to know each other. So some students love that level of involvement in their living and learning community. Others don't want that. So it all depends on the type of student and what type of opportunities you're looking for.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that information. I am going to leave the floor open for a few more minutes to see if students have additional questions they want to ask. In the meantime, I am going to go ahead and post the survey link for students to complete that survey for a chance to win that $50 gift card. But we will give students spend a minute or two to ask any questions, and then if there are none, we will end the event.
Okay.
It looks like we did get another question. A student asked about if there are any study abroad programs offered.
Oh gosh, yes, yes, yes. That's one of my favorite things to talk about. We have the largest exchange. I recommend you hit the study abroad website for UNCG. If you can study abroad UNCG, because we have partnering institutions all over the world. Some of those are partnered by major, and some of them are more general coursework, and you can also do summer experiences if you're interested in that. But what's so beneficial is when you pay your tuition and fees at UNC Greensboro, they exchange to your international institution. So your tuition fees at UNCG cover your tuition fees, for example, at a university in South Korea. Okay, so what you're basically paying for is a plane ticket and probably a little bit of spending money, I would guess. But what other time in your life can you do that? And they're pages and pages and pages of universities that we partner with. It's fantastic to thumb through. One of my actually, he's my neighbor, but he ended up studying abroad in Germany for a semester as an international business major at UNCG, and now he works for Aldi, and he's going to get to go to Spain for the next 6-8 months and work with Aldi over there as well. So there's lots of different opportunities to study abroad.
Oh wow, that sounds amazing.
Done it. I want to go.
Yeah, right. I just put that link, the study abroad for UNCG link, into the chat too, so that student can access it directly as well. It does look like, yeah, it does look like there's a lot of opportunities that you all offer. All right, I'll give students just one more minute to ask any last questions, but I do just want to say thank you so much, Melissa, for joining us today. And thank you to the students who attended. We are really glad we were able to still have this event. And I have listed your contact info, so if any students do have questions later, they have that way to reach out.
That is fantastic, and I thank you for organizing this, and to the students for taking time.
Thank you. All right, so I don't see any new questions popping up, so I will go ahead and end the live event. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa.